Asa, congratulations on the film. A really powerful, moving film. The sort of film I think that sort of stays with you for quite a while afterwards.
I hope so. Yeah. Thank you. I'm very proud of it.
I I think you're entitled to be, actually. I mean, I was looking at your career, and actually, you've worked with some really big names like Harrison Ford and Tim Burton, Martin Scorsese. I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than that, really, does it? So, I wondered how it felt working with such legends like that.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of almost don't really think about it like that.
So, how did
My
you think about it?
Well, seeing as as you said, I've been doing this for a long time, and it's all sort of quite normal for me. And when I'm not working, I find it very easy to kind of just forget about. I quite enjoy sort of letting go of that whole side of my life and being able to sort of come back to my friends and my family, because it can get very overwhelming when working in film, and being in the spotlight is it's a lot. And it's only really on occasions like this that I look back and I go, yeah, that's actually is quite insane. That I've been lucky to work with such phenomenal people and auteurs and creatives, and on Journey's End as well. There's an amazing group, an amazing cast, and an incredible crew that we were so lucky to have on board, and to be so driven and passionate to tell the story.
And I know some actors sort of keep a list of the people that they'd like to work with that they haven't worked with as yet. Do you keep a list like that, even if it's in your head?
I don't really.
Is
I mean,
there
are
anybody?
Is there anyone
you'd
that
really like to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
I'd love to work with Ian McKellen. I don't really know. Peter Jackson as well.
Okay.
Big fans of them both. I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan, in case you hadn't guessed.
It was a bit of a giveaway, actually. It was a bit of a giveaway. You were saying earlier about how you sort of switch off from work. Does that mean that you're the sort of actor who can switch on and switch off a character, or do you tend to immerse yourself more?
I'm not. I find it. I am one to, I guess, switch off and switch on. But I don't know if I would put it like that. It's more a case of kind of being able to step back from it. And I mean, some roles are more immersive and more kind of a bigger departure than others. And those are a bit trickier to figure out, and take a bit longer to get your head inside and to figure out. Whereas others that come very naturally, and you can, whether it's with an accent or just your body language, it really varies. I think for this film, due to the nature of it and the locations we were in and the set we were in, it was incredibly immersive. I think we all kind of carried aspects of our character, all the cast, with us.
And thinking about it, you've also had quite a variety of roles. I mean, I remember seeing you as the maths genius in X+Y, and you were in things like Ender's Game, and some quite sort of heavyweight films as well, like The Boy in Striped Pyjamas, and indeed this one as well. Are you sort of deliberately trying to avoid being typecast, or would you just say you've been lucky?
I find I never really look for particular roles. I don't like to work that way. I don't like to kind of try to search out. I sort of see what's around and see what comes to me, and see which sort of characters and roles really stick out to me in the moment. And I've been fortunate with a sort of variety of characters and projects. I've been in small independent films and massive science fiction blockbusters, and it's really given me quite a wide view of filmmaking as an art, I guess.
So Journey's End is based on a really legendary novel and play indeed. Had you seen the play or read the book beforehand?
No, in fact, I didn't study in school. I know a lot of people did, and I know people who had as well, and I missed that out. I must have done. So when I read the script, that was my first introduction to this story.
And what was your reaction when you read it?
Well, I thought it was sort of unbelievable, because the First World War is a bit glossed over, I think, in just sort of every day and in movies. It's all very much the Second World War is a far bigger, it plays a far bigger part in our minds and our thoughts when we think about big wars and big battles. And what I found with this story is, yes, it is set in the First World War, but really I think it's a film about men dealing with incredible amounts of stress and the way that they deal with that. And all these people coming from different backgrounds with different goals. My character is looking back and watching the film. It is kind of unbelievable that someone would be so excited and so eager to go to war and to fight for their country. But it's what it was like, and as part of this kind of research I did was finding out about all these people coming from private school, going into the Corps, going then straight pretty much onto the front line, being totally naive as to what they were in for.
It was all about glory and serving your country.
Exactly.
And the reality didn't seem to sort of filter through.
Yeah.
To back home, really, did it?
Not at all. Yeah, not at all. And only since the First World War and the Second World War do we really know what it's like and the reality of it. And so I think hopefully this film can really highlight that for people. So
you mentioned earlier about the other people involved in making the film, and you're certainly with some very illustrious British acting talent like Toby Jones and Sam Claflin, Paul Bettany. How did you all get on together?
We all got on an absolute treat, honestly. Even though it's a very sort of harrowing and tragic story, but we had so much fun making this film. It was hard work. It was very kind of physically demanding and even emotionally. But we all bonded so well and so sort of quickly. I think due to the nature of the movie and the setting we were in the trenches and in the dugouts, very kind of claustrophobic, and it's very cold and muddy, and naturally you lean on the people around you, and very quickly we formed this sort of banter and this relationship between each other, which I think really plays well in the movie.
Did you find you were picking up on the sort of dark humour that the characters have? That seems to be a characteristic of war, really, is that people's humour turns rather dark.
It absolutely does. And I think that's very much what happened, both for us naturally on set, making light out of the situation, and whether it's sort of farting or making jokes and playing pranks. Honest to God, it was the stinkiest set I've ever been on. But,
I was going to ask you about the trench, actually, because it looked hideous. Was it as bad as it looked?
It was. It was colder and muddier than sort of certainly anywhere I've ever been before. But honestly, I'm thankful for that, because it really added to this feeling of kind of an element of what it might have been like in the sort of closest we can get. Without it being illegal. And I think it really helped charge all these performances with a certain reality and a certain tension.
So given that you always go in for different roles pretty much every time, what's next for you?
Last year I shot a few different things,
right.
Which were actually quite different to Journey's End. I did some comedies, which is
a
bit of
comedy for a change.
Exactly, which is a bit of a departure for me, because I've played more dramatic roles in dramatic movies. So I really enjoyed kind of playing a more relaxed, experimental, at least for me, because I really haven't done comedy that much at all. Yeah. And it was a load of fun, and I'm very excited about those projects.
And I gather you've got a big birthday this year.
21.
Yes, in a few
months'
time.
in a couple of months.
So what are you going to do for that?
Honestly, I've not
Assuming
even thought about
working,
it.
Of course. You can't be working on your 24th.
I don't think I'm not. Currently, I'm not. We'll see. Hopefully, it would be nice to get some work. Although I have been working my last 2 birthdays. Yeah, I've got nothing planned as of yet.
As yet.
Yes.
Well, happy birthday in advance.
Thank you.
Asa Butterfield, thank you very much indeed.
No worries. Lovely chatting.